everybody. Welcome. Good morning, I should say. Scooter style, good morning. To a F1 2018 stream. And all your Christmases are come at once, because it's like the second one in a row, right? Like 2 weekends in a row. This is the time of day that I'd be planning to actually schedule a race. So if you've been paying attention to, or seen recent streams, you would see that I've been talking about doing a scheduled race every week, maybe 1 or 2 a week. This is the kind of time I'd be looking at, maybe a little bit earlier. I slept in this morning, courtesy of an overexuberance of beverage consumption last night. So let's just get into it. I mean, the last race, we booked a whole bunch of upgrades for the power unit for China, and the team let us down substantially. Like, they had a huge failure, apparently. I mean, I just assumed that the Webby Van Dorn joins the back. That's right. I am the Stoffel Waffle. Drebby Webby, I don't know. But, yeah, like, the team showed up and go, oh, sorry about this. We accidentally, the factory fell down last week, caught fire, and then was hit by a meteor. And we weren't able to do any upgrades at all. So, yeah, good times. All those points burned, and I don't even have enough points to order them to be fixed at this stage. So, yeah, that's highly unfortunate. But what can we do? That's the game. Let's get rolling. Let's hit the track. See if I'm any better. Do you know? You probably don't, because I haven't told you yet. But last Sunday, I actually reinstalled and played iRacing for the first time in, I think, a year, maybe. I think the last race I'd done was the Bathurst 12-hour, where I think Greg and I got 3 hours into it, and then I binned it
Shanghai
going over the mountain.
Chinese Grand Prix. First up is today's practice session. Beside me to take you through free practice today is a man.
What's with my voice? Do I have a cold? No, don't think so.
Belt.
It's just early in the morning. I'm not warmed up yet. I'll have some water.
Where should we be focusing our attention today?
I think we need to be looking across the entire field to see how far these cars are able to push a single set of tyres. While everyone will be trying different setups and
how's that? It's further lubricated now. It should be okay. I'm just not warmed up yet.
For each type of tyre compound, which will give us a rough idea of how long the drivers are able to stay out there during a stint in the race.
But our topics for discussion today as we go through this weekend is obviously F1 testing came to a close yesterday, my time, probably still today, your time, around the world. What did you think? Who's on top? Shrubbery, thank you. Or a Shrubbery, even. Thank you for the follow. You may borrow a Torsucker gif. Yeah, so obviously testing came to an end. So don't know what you guys think about that. Like, who do you think's on top? I think Ferrari look like they're on top of the moment, but you just can't read anything into testing, you know? Like, it's, yeah, difficult. My stream is lagging like a biatch. I know that because I'm not a Twitch affiliate or a partner, that, okay, cool. I was just going to say, I know because I don't think you can change the output of the stream. But if you watch my YouTube channel instead, you should be able to set the quality on YouTube. And everyone always says, well, why don't you become a Twitch partner then? I've certainly passed all the criteria for it. But, yeah, I like being able to stream to both platforms. I'm not much interested in being a Twitch partner at this stage and isolating myself just to Twitch.
I'll get these changes made.
Weather. It's going to rain in FP2. It's dry FP3. Qualifying's going to start wet. That's interesting. The race is going to be wet all the way through. Huzzah. I can't wait. Alright, let's get started. So yeah, I played iRacing last weekend. First time, well, like I said, since the Bathurst 12-hour that I started. Got 3 hours, 4 hours into last year. Ooh, didn't pull that up very well, did I? According to Pirelli, Ferrari's half a second faster than Mercedes. Pirelli's probably got the best data, you know. Oh dear. Oh dear. Because they know the proper delta of the I don't know why that didn't count. Anyway, they know the proper delta of the tires, right? And I assume there's no car in that gap. So when we're saying that Ferrari are half a second faster than Mercedes, that's 1 to 2. Yeah, it's not like Mercedes have dropped down to 3rd or something like that, and Red Bull's in the middle. I mean, my mantra for the F1 2019 season is anyone but Mercedes. So, but I don't really want to see a car that's half a second faster in the field. Here, I'm on YouTube now. Very good. That should give you the ability to change the streaming output, I think, whereas Twitch won't. Man, this is not going well. Not only is my voice not warmed up, neither is my my very low amount of driving skill. I also heard some people say that Ferrari is the fastest, but Red Bull can win races. It's going to be down to Honda, isn't it? I have no doubt that Red Bull have built a car capable of winning races. I have doubts whether Honda have built a power unit capable of winning races. What's their reliability like? I mean, you know, they haven't seemed like it's been disastrous. It certainly hasn't been McLaren levels. I mean, that's what we want. We want multiple teams fighting for wins. I have no doubt that Mercedes are going to be there or thereabouts. But I don't want Mercedes to have the fastest car this year. I'm done with them. Anyone been staying with F1? Anyone been staying with the F1 testing news? I think McLaren might have a competitive car this season. Leclerc is the best, is a beast. Yeah, so that's what we were just talking about, Flaming Fury. Welcome to the stream, by the way. So that's what we're just having a chat about now, testing. Yeah, I think Leclerc will be very good for Ferrari. Ugh. I doubt that's going to be enough for purple. Yeah. Ah, yes. So they told us that it's faster than the Renault, but is it faster than the Renault this year or just last year? You know, rate of development is a thing. Is Honda still ahead of Renault this year? Because Hulkenberg's been saying that he's noticed an improvement in the Renault power unit from last year to this year. And of course, Red Bull would say that, because they don't want to make everyone think they made a horrible decision by breaking their partnership with Renault. There you go. So far they've taken. I mean, it's reliability which also keeps everyone worried about Honda. Yeah, absolutely, Flaming Fury. It's all about how they're approaching this season as well, right? Are they approaching it to be super competitive and to try and win, or is it a development season where they'll take a lot of penalties, you know, in order to get better for the following season? Wow, we missed out by 5 points. Will Renault... Well, Renault most of the time couldn't supply engines, Honda can. Well, the relationship between Red Bull and Renault went to trash. And to be fair, there's fault on both sides for that. But yeah, I mean, you know, change is as good as a holiday. I hope it works out. Obviously, all I want to see is as many competitive teams fighting for wins as possible. I mean, in an ideal world, all 20 cars would be capable of winning a race. That'd be great. And how awesome would that be? And then we could have real discussions about who the best driver on the grid is, rather than it being, oh yeah, but it's 95% the car. But there are series for that kind of thing. Before anyone says anything, I know. I hope Honda got it right this time, so do I. They can supply engines, just not good ones. And then with McLaren, yeah. Ooh. Ooh, I broke myself. Where are we? Well, McLaren got unlucky. I think there are going to be some rising stars this season. I agree. I think Leclerc will be a revelation in Ferrari personally. We had to turn up the revs there at the end, but anyway. Return to the garage. I think they're going to be some... I don't think, but we'll see. Also, we have to do that invitational. Which invitational? Which one do we got to do? You'll have to remind me. Last year is a long time ago.
An interesting practice session there, then. Let's remind ourselves of the top three.
Oh, slowest. Look at that.
Vettel, Raikkonen, and Lewis Hamilton. That's it for practice, then. We'll see you again soon.
Not that that matters. So Stoffel Waffle was 11th. Ah, the V10, yes. Finish the rest of my coffee. That's the good stuff on a Saturday morning. So what else from the mid-season? It's difficult to say. Toro Rosso have looked. Thank you, Snowdog. Toro Rosso have looked. Sorry, I haven't set my phone up here so I can actually see it when it lights up, like I usually do. There we go. Look at that. Williams is still not competitive, in my opinion. I feel bad for Kubica. He needs to be in a better car next season. Not to mention that the car looks like a toothpaste brand. Yeah, the Williams look like they're in for a hell of a time, in all honesty. I would not want to be a Williams driver this year. I mean, they're not colossally a long way off the pace in the context of the history of Formula One, but the field's pretty close nowadays, and they do not look competitive at all, do they? And I think it's going to be a very tough return to Formula One for Mr. Kubica, and I think that's sad because he deserves better than that. Alright, so we can get this bit fixed. Thank you, team, for messing that up. Practice 2. Williams equals Colgate. Yeah. Williams Colgate. It almost sounds like a brand. I think Williams are in serious trouble. Red Bull's livery is the same. Yep. Yeah, that was a shame. When they rolled out that
Right, right, we've lost telemetry. We've lost pretty much all sensor information. It's being looked into now, so just bear with it for a few minutes if you can, please.
There we go. Doesn't matter, it's raining anyway, so we're not going to bother going out on track.
Look at the classification at the end of the session then.
Sainz and Norris, however, I can see them getting on a podium this season. Oh, I think that's ambitious in all honesty, Flaming Fury. I'd be thinking more that it's a chance that Hülkenberg and Ricciardo will get onto a podium, get a sneaky podium this year. In fact, I fully expect that Renault will get a podium this year. I don't think McLaren will get a podium. In order to get a podium, McLaren will have to outperform both Red Bull and McLaren. And I just... Sorry, Red Bull and Renault. And I just don't see it. I think Norris and Sainz have to be capable of outracing Hülkenberg and Ricciardo. And when it comes to racecraft, Ricciardo's on another level from the other three. In a close battle, Ricciardo is a differentiator, right? So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't think McLaren's getting a podium this year. I've been playing F1 2010. Yeah, I got it installed as well. I think I even done a stream of it, didn't I, late last year? It's not a bad game. It's good. Its career mode's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to have to do a lot this session. I should have realised that before I left FP1. Well, we're in for a busy, busy session. Let's hope it doesn't rain. But it's only a couple of weeks to Melbourne. I'm actually in Melbourne next week. I'm flying there on Monday, and I'm there for the whole week. I'm there until next Sunday. That should be good fun. Yeah, I saw that. That was it's pretty crazy. Goes to show you how big of an aero effect that top plane has on the car. That the loss of that top element on the rear wing just pitched him straight into a spin. It's easy to forget just how aero sensitive these cars are, you know. This car still has no rear end grip. Yeah, I broke myself again. Do that all the time. Do engines sound better in your opinion? This year, they do sound a little bit louder. That doesn't necessarily mean they sound better. They just sound louder. So no, not really, just louder. From what I've seen of testing footage. I missed the V8's blown diffusers from... Yeah, me too. The V8s and the V10s, that was... The very first F1 car I heard in person was a V10. V10 Honda. And oh my goodness, it was great. It shook the world, you know? Like, it made the air vibrate. It was unbelievable. The cars like that just don't... Today's cars just don't have that effect. Yeah, for you, it's... Yeah, for me, they sound the same. Ah, we didn't get it. That's fine. I'm not going to do another one. Don't have the time. The first engine I heard was the V6. Oh. Yeah, that's no good. Unless it was one from the 80s. And 06 squealed as well. Hey, Deridros. Welcome back, man. Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you. Yeah, it has been. I think one day Formula 1's going to have to address the engine problem, by the way. It's going to have to make a decision about what it wants to be. Does it want to be Formula E? Or does it want to be Formula 1? And I think fundamentally they'll have to sort that out. They'll have to work out what it is that they want to represent. I heard Alonso's World Championship winning car, my eardrums were turned inside out after that. Yeah. They are unbelievable to hear in person. And I tell you what, after hearing those cars in person, like the current cars sound like an affront to Formula 1, really. I never get that corner right. Tell you one thing about this McLaren is the back of the car does not like bumps. The back of the car doesn't like being a race car at all, but it certainly doesn't like bumps. Hate Formula E, just microwaves on wheels. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea either. Oh man. I mean, really, what I just want is just good racing, and Formula E's got some good racing, but it just seems wrong because the cars make no noise. There we go, got that pretty easy, like we usually do. Yeah, as I was saying, Formula 1's going to have to make a decision about what it wants to be. If it wants to be about hybrid technology and attracting manufacturers and all that kind of thing, it's going to end up in direct competition with Formula E. Because as Formula E as teams start making their own cars, that's going to attract. I mean, all the manufacturers are already going to Formula E as it is. If Formula Formula 1 wants to, you know, go down this super modern route like that, it's going to, like I said, end up in direct competition with Formula E. And I don't think it wants to do that because it will lose that competition. Not in the people's view, but certainly in the manufacturers and sponsorship view. So Formula 1 should commit to being what Formula 1 used to be. Just the fastest cars, making a lot of noise, and who cares how bloody much emissions it has. You know? And just attract race teams. Don't attract manufacturers, attract race teams. Racing organisations. That's Formula 1's appeal. That's what it should do. In my opinion. I'm going too fast through that corner, carrying way too much speed at the apex. It's costing me time. See, the front of this McLaren's not bad. But the rear end is garbage. Just no grip from it. It's very much based on the favourite drivers, that's right, because it's got to have a differentiator. The cars aren't differentiators, right? So you've got to base it on the drivers. If you base it on the manufacturers, you're going to go nowhere. So until the manufacturers are building their own car, excuse me, there's no point basing it on team versus team rivalry. It has to be about the drivers. That's why they have to do that. Otherwise, if it was just the team getting a fan boost or something like that, people aren't going to commit because people will relate to drivers better than they will teams, and it's the driver that's the differentiator in Formula E, which I quite like, but it is a spec series at the moment. I would like to see Audi join the sport or Porsche join F1. Not going to happen. I'd be very surprised if we saw another big player manufacturer join the sport in a full-time capacity. At most, you'll see something like Aston Martin, where it's a sponsorship deal, but I don't think you're going to see another Honda. Mainly A, because of the experience that Honda's had since they've come into the sport, or come back to the sport, and B, Formula 1's just not attractive anymore to them. Like Porsche and Audi are more likely to commit financially to Formula E, which is what I'm saying about Formula 1's going to have a problem if it starts competing directly with Formula E on a similar platform. Because it will lose that battle. Also, it's very slow. Yes, it is. I mean, Formula E will get better with time. The cars will get faster as technology and battery and all that kind of thing gets better. But you are correct. When I think of F1 glory, I think of the old Lotus, Jim Clarkett and Senna Schumacher back when F1 was saying saying F you to manufacturers. Agree 100%, and that's what Formula 1 should do. Formula 1 should stop trying to please manufacturers like Mercedes and Renault and say to them, we are going back to V8s. And if you don't like it, because Cosworth will build a V8 engine, Ferrari will build V8 engines. It doesn't matter if every car uses the same frigging engine in Formula 1, because they build their own chassis. So, in fact, I would actually prefer to see Mercedes leave the sport at this point. I think Mercedes are bad for Formula 1 personally, but that's a whole nother discussion. And so was Renault, the way they behaved with the hybrid era. Yeah, so yeah, screw manufacturers. To sum up Blown Diffuser, it was meow, grr, 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 especially on Monza. Yeah, it sounded like it was a truck. But Blown Diffuser was interesting, right? Because it was such great aero technology. It was really clever. Really clever. They should have let him keep it, in all honesty. Shouldn't have banned it. Also happy Kimi didn't leave the sport. Me too. I don't like this I don't like this whole newfangled approach to drive once a driver is, you know, mid-30s, they're too old for the sport and get out. If they've still got pace, let them drive. There's been this increasing push for younger drivers in Formula 1 more and more, you know, and I think it's wrong. Sorry, I shouldn't say it's wrong, because, you know, there's lots of talent out there that's young, but they push guys off the grid purely because they're old, and I think, you know, a driver is well capable of still fighting for championships well into their 40s, if they're in the right car. But they're just not very marketable, so they're not in the right car anymore. Not like the old days. That's better. I'm slowly getting my mojo back. My race at Bahrain wasn't very good. I hadn't driven for a month, and it showed. Oh, no grip. You have to drive this McLaren very tentatively. As I said, it's got plenty of front end grip. The front of the car is quite nice, very responsive, but the back of the car just, it doesn't want to be a race car. It would prefer to be a Golf. Not one of the good Golfs, like a simple baseline one, not the GTR. There we go. All good. That trend started with Nico Rosberg. Did it? Let me think. You're probably right. You're probably right. this shift to ever younger drivers. I'm just not a fan. You know, carried on with the likes of Sainz and Verstappen. It's funny, they're all sons of former drivers or other motorsport drivers. You know, they try and write drivers out of the sport all the time for being too old. The only reason a driver should lose their job is if there's somebody faster, or if they're just not fast enough anymore. And it's not consistent, because Felipe Massa was on the grid for way too long. Mind you, he kept Bottas honest. That was the one reason why I thought Mercedes made a mistake hiring Bottas. That he just wasn't going to be fast enough to regularly pressure Hamilton, because he just wasn't he wasn't superior enough over Massa. And I'd like to think that my prediction there has borne fruit. Because Hamilton dominated Bottas last year. Even Kimi won a race, for goodness sake. Even though Valtteri had one taken off him, of course, by the team, which was disgraceful. Mainly, not so much because I don't understand why they need team orders, but in that situation it wasn't required. I've just got no confidence in the back end of this car at all. I'm fine with young drivers, just don't replace the old ones with them. Yeah, as I said, like, if they're faster, okay, fair enough. If they're legitimately faster, you can replace them. But if they're still fast, you don't just push them out purely because they're old. I think there is too much tech in Formula 1 now. It's sort of stripped away the skill. I agree and I disagree, and that's going to sound like a halfway answer because it is. Because, as Snowdog just said, technology is Formula 1 and a part of Formula 1, and it always has been. What's important about it is where is the technology? At the moment, the technology is all in a power unit, and that's as boring as all get out. No one cares. Honestly, no one cares about MGUK, MGUH. No one cares about the batteries, the energy store, and they don't care about the turbo. They care about stuff they can see. They care about the aero. They care about the advancements that are visual to them. They care about new front wings. They care about fun stuff people do with end plates and aero. They don't care about what's under the engine cover. But all the tech at the moment is focused on the power unit because the power unit is too big of a differentiator in the sport. They need to stop that. They need to make the engine as simple as possible. It's a 2.4 litre V8. That's it. What can you do with it? You can make it a bit more drivable. You can use different, you know, they can use some different mapping and stuff like that to make it more drivable, like the Renault used to be back in the Red Bull. But no one cares. Sorry, I shouldn't say no one. Such a small part of the Formula 1 fan base legitimately cares about an MGUK and how unbelievable it is. And don't get me wrong, the technology is unbelievable. The MGUH is a work of art, like what they've come up with there. It's unbelievable. But no one cares. Like, if people cared about that stuff, it'd be just non-stop conversation because it is impressive technology. But no one cares. No one talks about it, and the reason is no one cares. Because if it was legitimately interesting, Martin Brundle could wax lyrical for the whole race about how impressive the MGUH technology is, but he doesn't because it's boring and no one gives a toss. So Formula 1 can have tech. It's always had tech, but it has to be tech in the right areas. So go back to basic engines. No one cares about the engine. Everybody wants to see the tech that they can see. You know, what are the aero differences between the car? How does the Mercedes look different than the Ferrari? You know, how is the Red Bull different? What are they doing differently? It doesn't have to be always obvious tech, but it has to be tech that's got at least some visual component to it that you can understand. If you see a technical drawing of a blown wheel rim, you can understand what that is. If you see a technical drawing of the MGUH and it's like, oh yeah, they're getting slightly... No, you lost me. I don't want to look at blueprints. So, and I think that's one of Formula 1's big problems at the moment is that it's not exciting at a technical level. If Formula 1 can have tech, but the tech has to be something that attracts people. It has to be something that people find interesting and they want to talk about. You know, the water cooler discussion of F1 fans, it has to be something they want to talk about. The subset of fans who care about the power unit technology is so small that they can't carry the sport. And so if you just keep focusing down on here, for the same reason, by the way, the Formula E focuses everything on the driver battle. Because Formula E is boring. The whole technology of Formula E is impressive, but no one cares about how the engine works. They care about the car, not the engine. So because all the cars are the same, you can't focus on the car. And because the engine's boring, no one talks about the engine. So everything in Formula E is driver versus driver. It's fan boost, it's everything, all the races, and they don't talk about the teams at all, really. It's just all about the drivers. Because they know if you take the focus off the drivers, that's the only appeal that has. Whereas if you go to Le Mans, to endurance racing, it's the other way around. They do talk a lot about the differences between the cars because it's actually legitimately impressive. So, yeah, you know, and it's teams. A lot of it is team-based in endurance racing rather than talking about the drivers unless it's Fernando Alonso driving a Toyota. You do get a feel for... They're not stupid, the people who promote these series, right? They know where their bread's buttered. And but Formula 1 doesn't, because Formula 1 is silly. Because the power unit regulations of this era are wrong. They detract from the sport, and it should really do something about it. Yeah, I know, but it's just the ERS and stuff with the power unit. There needs to be a balance. Maybe the ERS is okay, but it depends quite a lot on the electrics within the engine. If you don't have that, you don't have the pace. I understand where you're coming from. You know who carries this sport? Italians, British, and Australians. Yep. And when Ricciardo leaves the sport, the Australians won't carry it anymore either. NASCAR is even more boring than Formula E. Yeah, because what's NASCAR? NASCAR's another driver versus driver sport. Because they can't talk about the teams, because all the cars are the same. So for the same thing, and they don't talk about the engines because the engines are simplistic. So it's all about race to the drivers up. Whereas IndyCar does talk more about the teams because there's impressive stuff that the teams do. So as I said, you find out the promoters aren't silly except Formula 1 promoters. They know where their basis is. Formula 1 focuses way too much on drivers. When drivers have such little control over how competitive they are in Formula 1. It's all about the car. Do you honestly believe that Lewis Hamilton is so much better than every driver on the grid? That's not to say Lewis Hamilton is not one of the greats of the sport, because he is. But is he so much better that he deserves to win, 4 of the last 5 world championships? No, he's done that because he's been in the best car. So, is he that much better than everyone else? No, he's not. Not by that much. The engines are all the same, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this. So yeah, I think Formula 1 needs to address an image problem that it's got. And the engines need to be simplified. Wow, we only just got that, didn't we? Yeah, Lewis is good, but he's not that good. It's just that, most of it's the car. That's always been the case in Formula 1, by the way. Don't get me wrong. It's not just him. All drivers. Michael is the greatest driver of all time for me. But, he only won 7 world championships because he spent, so long in the best car. Cool. Although, what I'll say about Michael is that he fought for championships he had no right to fight for in that Ferrari when he first went there in the mid-90s. There's a reason that a lot of people, as I said, me included, who consider Michael Schumacher to be the greatest of all time. Go back and, in fact, in all reality, the seasons that he didn't win, a lot of them are a lot more impressive than the ones that he did. Because the ones he won, he generally was in the best car, but he fought tooth and nail for championships in a Ferrari that didn't deserve to fight for championships. You know, in the mid-90s. He would have won in 99 if he didn't break his legs at Silverstone. And that's crazy. So, yeah, Michael was a special talent in his prime. Also, Ferrari were faster than Mercedes is just what Kimi, What's the Drink, and Vettel was always singing You Spin Me Right Round. In testing, when you say Schumi only won 7 world championships, yeah, the guy's the greatest. But
the more respected you are as a driver, the stronger we'll be during contract negotiations. In order to gain that respect throughout the paddock, you need to drive clean and bring home good results. Warnings and penalties from the stewards, on the other hand, will lose you respect. So be careful.
Thank you for that. Qualifying. First of all, let's, before I forget, let's fix up the other upgrade that we got screwed on as well. There we go. Yeah, Michael's the greatest for me. Because as I said, if you go back and watch the championships he didn't win, you know, the likes of 96, 95, 96, 97, 98, he didn't have a right to fight for those championships, but he did.
We'd like to welcome you from wherever in the world you join us today for this F1 qualifying session here in Shanghai, China.
And the question has to be, of course, what is that circuit going to look like in 10 to 15 minutes from now? If you think the rain's going to get worse, then you have to be straight out when the lights go green to find whatever grip you can. But if it eases off, then you're better off waiting, saving the tyres, and going out at the perfect moment. The other thing that comes with these conditions? Traffic. And the lack of visibility that comes from sitting in the spray.
Oh, there he is, the boss.
It's going to be a constant problem, and I expect to see a lot of frustrated drivers with ruined laps out.
You mean Jim Clark was the greatest? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't see Jim Clark race, so I don't know. But to me, Michael was in a time when it was professional. To me, Formula One back in Jim Clark's era and Formula One of the late 20th and early and 21st century is different. So what I'm going to do is put some more fuel in this car so it can go a little bit longer. Which team do I think is going to surprise this year? I think maybe Racing Point will surprise with not being as good as what people think they probably are going to be. They're effectively a one-car team this season. For me. Whoa! Wow, this car is not good in the wet. The Grand Tour made a Jim Clark tribute. Yep. Hey, Alex, how are you, man? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I mean, Jim Clark's got the best win-loss ratio out of any driver in history, I think. He won pretty much every race he was in. No, I don't know if any team will really surprise. I mean, I think the pecking order is. I think Alpha will go okay. But I think that's not going to be a surprise if they do. I think most people are actually expecting that Alfa Romeo will go pretty well. I don't think, yeah, like I said, I don't think that's going to be a surprise. I think Renault will be a solid fourth behind Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. But I don't think that's a surprise. I don't know, maybe Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso will take a good fight to McLaren, I think. I think Williams will surprise with just how bad they are, but I don't think that's going to be a surprise either. So, I don't know. I mean, Stroller's not faster than Ocon. No, he's not. He is as fast as Ocon with a full assist. Yeah. No, Williams are in for a shocking year. I think. Oh, come on, car! Freaking hell.
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
Okay, what I can say definitively is that the poor rear end performance from this car is exacerbated in the wet. And driving this car in the wet is not fun. Look at that. I mean, that's ridiculous. Hey, Twacky. That's a lot of emoticons, man. Which driver do you think will come back in 2020? The only one who's at risk of coming back in 2020 is Ocon. I'll tell you what, if Bottas has another year where he really doesn't put Hamilton under pressure, I wouldn't put it past Mercedes putting Ocon in that car. Because Mercedes needs to think about their future, right? Hamilton's not going to stay forever. They need a driver who's going to be capable of picking up the mantle, and it ain't going to be Bottas. Not the way he performed last season. This whole reason that Ferrari have put Leclerc into the car. Ocon at Mercedes. Or Mercedes will place him somewhere for a year and then bring him back the following in 2021. Okay, so we've got... Oh, go away. We've got DRS enabled. Bottas, I think Ocon will be only returning driver. Van Dorn and Ericsson is unlikely. Van Dorn's not coming back. I kind of wish he would. Because I think he's better than his results showed. But... Okay, so Seb's on a dry tyre, so that's a cue for us. How much we got left in the session? 8 minutes. Bottas is not fast enough to be in Mercedes. No, he's fast enough as long as Hamilton's there. He's not fast enough if he's the only driver or if he's the lead driver. They'll lose if they leave him in that car. Maybe we'll leave just 2 laps of fuel in there. I like Van Dorn, but I don't think he could cope with the pressure. Yeah, I mean, I think racing with Alonso will be pretty difficult. Let's just fast forward a little bit. To about that. There we go. Track's clear. You guys need to stop with Valtteri. It's James. Alonso made more upgrades on his car than Stoffel. That's why Stoffel isn't an F1 driver anymore. Alonso was a lot more experienced than Van Dorn. I don't think you can critique Van Dorn for not being as good with his setup or bringing developments to the car as Alonso. Alonso's a different animal altogether. And Alonso's fast. Like Alonso's every bit as good as Hamilton. Every bit as good as Hamilton. Make no mistake about that. Stoffel, you're not making friends, mate. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I'm on a lap, you dipstick. I'll tell you what, this game sometimes... How much did your wheel cost? My Thrustmaster 2150 is just, oh man, rip. That's sad. Sorry about that. I think I paid about $1,200 for this. 1,200 Australian. Alonso beat Schumi. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to the car. So, it's difficult to say. He did beat him, and he done very well. And as I said, I think Alonso is one of the greats. But it's very difficult when you're comparing drivers across different cars. Do you really think that Van Dorn would keep up? I think he could in a better environment. I don't think Van Dorn's as a scrub. Do you have the driver transfer mod? No. I don't have any mods at all. Except I changed the liveries so that I've got number 1 on my car and on my helmet. I think if I put a mod on here, I'd have to start my career all over again, yeah. And I started this career when the game first came out, so I'm not sure that's enough. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Are you okay?
Wow, those tires go off quick.
Confirm you're okay, please.
You should try. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna try it, Alex, because I think it'll break my career. I think I'll have to start again. No, what the hell's going on? Why, like, is my front right gone? I can't have discussions and drive that corner at the same time. I don't understand why I have no grip in that corner now. No, I'm not applying any mods because I think it'll break it. I'd have to start my career again. There we go. Needed that lap. Otherwise we were out. Even if I did have to flash back twice. Oh dear. Anyway, but that was because I was in the middle of a discussion at the same time, right? You guys know. You know the rules. 5th, not bad. And only on Season 3... Webby is active, he promises. I'm active right now. I promise you that I am. Hang on. Yeah, definitely got a heart rate. I'm good. Okay, so we have the Ultra Soft on. Yeah, 14 gone. You better win. Hey, Luce, happy birthday, brother. Welcome to old age. Everybody on stream, wish Luce a happy birthday, please. You have that heart rate for now. Yeah, it's going alright. I actually have a very low heart rate, FYI. So to answer your question, Luce, I'm in a McLaren. I ain't gonna win, mate. What season am I in? Season 3. But this is still my first season at McLaren, so the car has not advanced very much. It's still a piece of garbage with no rear end grip, as you can see. Bloody hell! It really does have no rear end grip, Luce. You have to take my word for it. It's so bad. I mean, if you take out everyone like the McLaren that you are, then you can win. Yeah. Yep. Okay. We're currently 4th. 1 second off the pace. Let's fast forward that. I'm amazed that we're still in the top 5. I don't want to burn another set of tires. I'm not going to go back out. If we make it, if it does, it does. If we make it, we make it. If not, rip. I think we made it. Yeah, look at that, just. So, as I was saying before, before I got distracted, I reinstalled iRacing last weekend. And done a race on the Sunday. Summon your inner Pasta Maldonado Grosjean. Yep. So that's good. We've got 2 sets of tyres, so we can do 2 runs in Q3. Just do 1 right now. So yeah, I reinstalled iRacing, and because I've been itching to do some racing with the Oculus Rift again, because I don't have many games that will support it that I'm still playing. Like, I'm not playing Project Cars or Assetto Corsa at the moment. And I've got no interest in doing so. But yeah, Greg came over and he's like, "Oh, we should totally do a GTE race at Spa," because I love Spa, as you all know. Because iRacing now has night-day transition. So I did a race in the Oculus in the Ferrari GTE car, and started at dusk and it went nighttime, and it was fantastic. Like, it looks so good. It felt so immersive in the Oculus Rift to drive into the night. It was really good. iRacing still got significant problems with the handling models of their cars, as Luce will attest to. But it was just a really fun experience. I wasn't particularly fast. As I said, I hadn't done any racing really for a month, or since last year, and I hadn't played iRacing for like over 6 months, so I can't say I was fast. I finished like 14th in the field of 36 cars or whatever it was, but yeah, it was good fun. You have Oculus Rift? Yes, I do. Right down there. Cool. Yeah, I like racing in VR. I really do. I kind of think that sim racing is what VR was made for, you know. Basically, anything where you're seated in a simulation experience. So you have like if you do like racing or even like flight sim or something like that. I feel like they're the kind of applications. Hazard, welcome, man. I told you that I did iRacing. There's no need to act so surprised. I like a set of Corsa as well. The new one, Competizione, doesn't work with my Oculus Rift. My Oculus is too old. So it's a shame, because I did get the game and I wanted to try it out. And I didn't mind it in all honesty, but I can't use the Oculus with it, which is disappointing. So yeah, but it was fun. You know, it was fun. It was only fun because I wasn't taking it seriously. If I took that game seriously, it'd be a blow up. There'd be a problem there. I might have been carrying, yeah, look at that, I'm carrying too much fuel. By a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. So where were we? P8. We're already ahead of schedule. We've probably got enough in us to maybe, as it currently stands, jump Verstappen. But then everyone else is going to improve. 23.9, 2/10 middle sector, half a second in the last sector because we've just got no power unit performance. I love racing in the Nordschleife. Yeah, the Nordschleife is... I always wanted to do a Grand Prix around the Nordschleife. No one was ever up for it, though. Oh, anybody here worth their salt knows what the Nordschleife is, Snowdog. No need to clarify it as the Nürburgring. Or the Burgering, as I call it. Shame we don't race at the Burgering anymore. I didn't mind that track. I certainly prefer it over the modern Hockenheim. A lot more undulating. We found a lot of time in that last sector. Burgering, nice. We totally need Burger King to be a spot. The Burger King Burgering. Look at that, P5.
Look at your top three.
Look at that.
Hamilton, Vettel, and Kimi Raikkonen.
Well, it's beautiful.
Goodbye for now, then. But we're really just getting started.
Can't believe it. It's going to rain in the race, though. Just go under the bridge and it's Burger King. The nurturing was and is still dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, the Nordschleifer is very dangerous. It's mainly the camber and the off-camber stuff in the corners and just how bumpy it is. Have some colossal accidents there. Can't believe we qualified P5. How good's that? It really is a thing of beauty. Yeah, I knew. I figured you must have had an autocorrect thing going on. It's, yeah. It's certainly not very nurturing. Alright. What a great performance.
Well done.
Yeah.
Very solid result.
I'm really happy
You're
with that.
good for the race.
But it's going to rain in the race, so, I mean, Lauder almost died there. Yes, he did. 1976. We're going to be taking a gearbox penalty at some point, I think. Got one more race to do. Sorry, we've still got this race to do, and we're already at 40% wear. Really need to improve that. I don't think I have enough points, do I? For how much do they need? Yeah, maybe after this weekend we'll do that. We spent all our points getting a power unit improvement. Let's do it. In that Ferrari, yep. Man, Niki Lauda. That guy he's had a hell of a career. Hell of a life, I should say.
Ever since the Sauber of Felipe Massa passed Jenson Button into turn 1 at the very first Chinese Grand Prix in 2004, Shanghai has consistently provided close racing and extraordinary memories. It's where Lewis Hamilton effectively lost the title in his rookie year, and it's where Nico Rosberg claimed Mercedes' first win of the modern era in 2012. The ever-tightening turns 1 and 2 will prove tricky in the slippery conditions here at Shanghai, and anyone that slides wide...
Other Ferrari drivers who have almost died, or did die, Gilles Villeneuve, obviously. Clay Rigazzoni. I think Rigazzoni was in a Ferrari, wasn't he?
Can take advantage of that DRS assistance.
I might have that one wrong.
It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers
Massa,
today,
of course,
although with
2009.
falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Bottas, Wood and Leclerc.
Well, Schumi was on Mercedes at the time,
Gasly,
but still.
Perez and Esteban Ocon, Hulkenberg, Hartley, Lance Stroll and Sainz.
Michael had a colossal accident in 1999 in a Ferrari there where he broke his legs. Big accident at Silverstone.
Sirotkin and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
We've qualified above where we expected to be, so try your best to hold on to this position in the race.
So it's going to rain all the way through, so I don't think at any point, by looks of that, it's going to get light enough for us to go onto the dry tyre. This is going to be a really, really tough race start for us.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
It's going to be a tough race, I reckon. But it's an opportunity for us to get some really, really good points. A couple of 6th place finishes to start the season. And we have our #1 rival right behind us as well. The guy will have raced for 6th place two races in a row. Charles Leclerc. We've got a Red Bull only a couple of cars behind us. That will be a threat. Ooh. Well done, Matt. Hero. Absolutely, not all heroes wear capes. Some of them just take out styrofoam bollards by driving off the track on the formation lap. Oh, what a great move. 4D chess, I'm telling you. Underwater hungry hippos. So here's hoping we can get a good result here. Good haul of points, good haul of resource points. We can start dragging this car forward. But keep the conversation up, guys. What do you want to talk about? You still want to talk about testing? I mean, there's only so much you can get out of talking about testing because it's just testing. But what else has been going on? We haven't had much of a conversation lately. Talk to me. We're friends, please.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Do you have any questions about my time in Japan? Because I was there for a month. It was great. Whoa! 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 Okay, so we'll just do that again. So what happened was I got wheel spin, as you can tell, and then this car just kept making contact with the back of me. Like that! Oh! Man, I tell you what, I noticed there's been an update to this game. Have they changed the AI so they just drive into you off the start? No, hang on, that's not what we want. I don't know why I'm in replay mode. No, that is what I wanted, actually. No, it's not. I can't even concentrate anymore. I've lost it. I've lost it. Come on, at least let's get to turn 1, yeah? Wanna have a race. Whoa, 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 whoa! Stop it! God, the AI is... I forgot that the AI was so bad. I got Gasly just driving in to turn me around. Max, or Daniel, whoever it is. Oh, good stuff, and then I have a bloody script start. This is not a good point. Oh, go away. Me, who wrote a script to start at this time of morning. Minimizing the game. Oh man, this is not good. Oh. Oh, this McLaren is awful in the wet. And then I just get hit by the AI.
Okay, Bob.
And I just get wiped out by the AI. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's watch this. I reckon it's going to be Gasly just flat out drove into the back of me. In a straight line. Yep. Oh dear. Come on, game. Can we at least have a race, please? Like the, you know. I'm getting mad. Getting mad. What's your favorite livery? I like the McLaren and I like the Renault. I can't do a race in these conditions, guys. Seriously. The AI is legitimately too retarded to race in the wet.
Engine is showing small signs of wear. Power output will be down.
Hey Andrew, how are you, man? God, this car sucks. I hate it. I really hate it. Yeah, good, man, good. I mean, look at the thing. It's like a truck. Frick's sake.
This rain could be with us.
Shut up. Shut up.
Got that confirmed.
What I think is that there's just a gross imbalance in this car between front end grip and rear end grip, which makes it incredibly oversteering. So as I was saying before, like the front of the car feels really good, but the back of the car has got nothing. Like it's got nothing at all. You drive over a bump, it can't handle the bumps, it's got no aero grip. And that just makes the thing incredibly unbalanced, because I think the front of the car is developed, so it feels good. But the rear of the car has nothing at all. Look at that, look at that, look at that! I'm gonna punch the screen in a second. This is hard. This is too hard. It's not fun, guys. Cody's. I have no idea. I have no traction at all. I did notice there was an update, because we're now on game version 1.16. Last time, when I played last weekend, it was 1.5. So I don't know what they changed, if anything. This car is undrivable in the wet. I mean, its lack of traction in the dry makes it difficult, but you can deal with it in the wet. You're holding on for dear life. It's give and take though, Lewis. Car is very unpredictable. Let's not forget that Red Bull's one of the best cars in the... Sorry, the Toro Rosso is one of the best cars in the grid. It certainly was when I left the team at the end of last year. Whoa! Is it going to dry out? No, I don't think so, no. It's scheduled to rain for the rest of the race. Weather report. That's helpful. Ah, so is that.
This light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now.
This car is undrivable. Why? Why? Come on. For some reason, like, I went through a purple patch where I had grip, and now I've got no grip again. Yeah, I think Ericsson hit me. Yeah. Maybe you've just caught the bad streams. Most streams are actually fine. Just that this McLaren, because I've only just crossed to it, is not a good car. It's going to take time for me to develop it up, but it's got some really bad characteristics in terms of rear end grip. So that's being exacerbated by the rain. So it's pretty average in the dry, but in the rain, it's a really bad car. Really bad car. And I'm just generally an angry person, so I would be angry if I was playing Tetris. Having said that, I'm happy to take suggestions for games that people think I should play. What is up with these tyres? Yeah, they're worn at the back, that's the problem. That's why I've got no grip. I've hit the wear threshold on them. So that'll make the car even more fun to drive. Just gonna have to keep it straight. But Tetris is infuriating. Yep. I actually don't really know how those tyres are worn so much as well in these conditions. That seems a bit off to me. Imagine how Alonso felt. I'm getting a lot of feeling for that now. I like your sense of humor. Oh, it looks like I'm due for a pit stop, actually. The guy's not talking to me, though. And because my mic's not working.
Confirmed.
I don't know what that was. Oh, oh. My mic doesn't seem to be working. That happens in this game, unfortunately. More updates, please.
Copy.
There we go. When was I supposed to pit?
We're running an excess on fuel. Mix 3 is there if you need it. Mix 3.
Well, I said more updates. I didn't want you to annoy me with the name stuff, Jeff. Come on. I know the fuel situation. Box this lap. Box this lap.
Okay, we can take you this lap. strategy is available on the MFD.
Oh, it's a bit late for that, isn't it, you dipstick?
Copy that. Stoffels in the pits.
Good, he can freaking sit behind me.
Exit now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Weather report. Weather report.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Okay, whatever, game.
Okay, we've got plenty of energy.
How about you don't talk to me when I'm in the middle of having a spin, you dipstick? When the dumb physics just decide it's time for you to go off the track.
Okay, the gap behind is 1.5 seconds.
I just want to have a fun race. Like, is it too much to ask? This car is so random. Having said that, it's not like it's a leaps and bounds worse than the Toro Rosso was. It's just its balance is so bad. I certainly don't think we're going to be going back-to-back World Championships this year anyway. And you know whose fault this really is anyway? It's the game's fault. Because when Jeff was parrying on with his inane stuff at the start of the race, I told him to shut up. What that meant was that, unfortunately, if you tell him to shut up because he's talking too much, he then won't tell you when it's time to pit. So unless you're paying attention to your HUD, you don't know. So that's pretty infuriating. So I was 2 laps late into the pits, which meant I spent 2 laps on worn tyres because I didn't bother paying attention to what my strategy was because I expect my engineer to tell me when I need to pit. So that's It's just yeah, when you lower the threshold on his speaking by telling him to shut up, he then doesn't say anything, like even when it's time to pit. Seriously, game. I have half a mind just to retire from this race and do the next one. What did I do different that time that I done the last time? It's just far too random. Inconsistent. Like how this game decides whether you've got traction or not is just, it's a black art. It really is. Like sometimes you just randomly spin up the inside wheel or the outside wheel and you won't really know why. It's just really inconsistent. Anyway, I should just drive rather than talk. It's probably just a lack of concentration. Just try and get this race out of the way. Get whatever we can out of it.
We're monitoring somewhere on... We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Shut up.
Understood, copy that. in some information on Ricardo. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Slipstream ain't worth a damn in this game. You right there, mate? Just drive into me. That's that. Oh, we got some points out of it. The back half of the race was pretty good after the pit stop.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
It's a heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and had the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into first place here today.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
Hey, Stonebridge. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. We got some points. That's about all we can say about that race. Thank you, Ginger Rufus, for the follow. And despite what they tell you, I do believe you've got a soul. It's all good.
Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm going to go for Marcus Ericsson. He's clearly got a very delicate touch in close
Marcus
proximity
Ericsson,
to
who
other
finished
cars,
13th, driver of the
matured a
day.
lot.
All good, man. All good. Ah.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
Did I?
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
I'm the reigning world champion. I don't have the expectations. I'll do that.
How did your team respond to the poor conditions today? There was quite a lot of contact today, wasn't there? Great. Well, that's everything.
There you go. Well, hopefully they give us the upgrades for the next race. Oh, it's a close battle with Leclerc. Not so close with Van Dorn.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your
Oh, an
contract
invitational
reviews.
event.
On to the next one. We've received invitations to new historic events. You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.
I need 800 points. I don't have that many. We do need to do a gearbox wear upgrade though. I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid taking a gearbox penalty. But we do have these major engine power upgrades coming. That should bump us a bit up the field when we get to Baku, because Baku's going to welcome us all with a better package apparently. So there you go. Overtake challenge in a 95 Ferrari. Time attack in a 92 Williams. This one. Getting in the Ferrari. Bit of V10 scream. At Monza. Yeah, man, thank you. It was a great holiday. I've been back for nearly a month now. Nearly a month to the day, actually, since I got back. Yeah, it was really good. And then I've just been very, very busy since I got back. It's been crazy. But no, my month in Japan was great. It was really, really great.
And welcome along to all of you at home as well. So grab a cup of tea and get ready as our competitors make their final preparations.
Thanks, Crofty and Muppet. I've read some stories. I didn't watch any of it though, but yeah, I've read the stories out of it. Oh bloody hell! Sorry, script started up, guys. Big setup. Whoa, these things don't stop very well, do they? Whoa! We'll just restart that. Oh, it's so hard to switch between cars. They got such different... I mean, I'm thankful they got such different performance characteristics. But they do catch you out when you first change over. Like, all the way through the power curve. Whoa, I didn't like that. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Oh, man. I don't even know what I was doing there. I was aiming to go down the right-hand side of him, and then I had a brain fade. I was thinking about something else. Anyway, I think I know how this car's going to handle out. I zoom you right past you. Whoa.
Okay, clear.
Oh no! I don't want to do that again. Ah, friggin' hell, game. Well, that wasn't very convincing, was it? Got through it in the end. All good. Well, Baku's going to welcome us all, but it's not going to welcome us all today. Or right now, at least. We'll call it there. That was an interesting race that we just had. Our focus right now is just making this McLaren better. Automobilista works reasonably well on VR big screen. I know what I'll be doing tomorrow. Automobilista. Does it?
The new parts have arrived from the factory without issue.
Oh, hello.
They'll be fitted to the car in time for the next session.
That's good. Let's have a look. All of a sudden, we're the 5th best car. Where are we on powertrain now, all of a sudden? Oh, look at that. Look at that. We're doing better. It's just a fake screen, but I can use a monitor with it at the moment. Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. Understood. Yeah, I know R-Factor 2's got pretty good VR capability. But just haven't played much of it. I haven't got together with the friends to play it. But anyway, we'll do that at some point. Looking forward to trying out this new updated car next time. I want to thank everybody who tuned in to watch. I want to thank everybody who watches on the Twitch and the YouTube later on. It's been was an interesting race. I'm still finding my feet again after taking such a long break from the game and from racing in general, so I'm still a little bit rusty, so I thank you for bearing with me whilst I get this done. Works well, but there's just some annoying stuff with RF2. Yeah. But yeah, that'll do for now. I don't think we're back for the rest of the day. I've got some plans over the rest of the day. We might be back tomorrow with another race. See how we go. I am going to try and do a race at least once a weekend at in this time zone, early Saturday morning for me. We had some pretty good viewership today, so I'm keen to. I think this is a time zone that will work for most people. But obviously, feel free to leave me comments or send me tweets at WebbyMoto on Twitter. Comments on the videos always welcomed, or hit me up over on the Facebook page, WebbyMoto Gaming, and let me know what you think. But that'll do for now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will catch you next time, which I promise won't be 2 months in the future. Cheerio.